How are you supposed to grow on Twitch when there are tens of thousands of other streamers trying to do the exact same thing? It feels impossible. Well, I made a system for Twitch that I've used to start getting more viewers into my Twitch streams more efficiently than just streaming into the void. And today I'm going to show you how to use it. There are 3 parts to this strategy, and honestly, the last step is probably the most effective. So you know we got to save that one for last. So starting with part 1, and that's focusing on long form content. That's things like playthroughs, let's plays, or any sort of long form video that's over 60 seconds and horizontal. I'm going to touch on the pros and cons because you can't have the good without the bad. So starting off with the pros of making long form content is that it's one of the best ways to convert a viewer to a fan. And that's simply just because you have more time to spend with them and build that connection. If someone's sitting through a 5+ minute video of yours, the likelihood of them wanting to come over to your streams is going to be way higher, just because they've already started to build that friendship and connection with you. The second pro of long form content is that it's one of the best ways to monetize your content, which means it's a lot easier to make money. So if it's one of the best ways to convert viewers into fans, and it's one of the best ways to make money, well then what's so bad about long form content? Well, there's a couple things. The first being is that it's very time consuming, because 1, not only do you have to edit a longer video, but 2, the amount of time wasted is exponential because you don't know what videos are going to perform well and what aren't. So you could spend a day, a week, a month or 2 on one video, only for it to completely flop and get no views, which means you essentially wasted that much time. Now, obviously it's not a complete waste of time because you're always improving your craft like video editing and coming up with video ideas, but it can feel like a waste of time because it didn't get the traffic that you thought it deserved. Because at the end of the day, what matters the most on all of these different social platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram Reels, everything, it all comes down to one specific metric, and that's your average viewer duration or audience retention rate. And essentially, this is just the percentage of how long you can get your viewer to watch through all the way to the end of your video. So if someone only watches halfway through your video, that's a 50% average viewer duration. And the higher that you can get that number in percentage, the more these social platforms are going to push your content in front of more people. Because obviously, if it's keeping them on the platform, that's the one way that all these social platforms make their money. So if you can make your content more engaging to keep more people watching longer, then these social platforms are going to push your content so you can get more viewers and traffic. Now, that being said, it's a lot harder to keep your viewers' attention for long periods of time. So long form content, I put that in the con category. So for long form content, it's really difficult to hold a viewer's attention span for more than 5 minutes, let alone an hour plus, because TikTok has completely rotted my brain to where I can barely pay attention to a 10-second clip. Thanks, TikTok. And if you're also a victim to this, then drop a like so I know that you guys also are suffering like myself. So now that we've covered long form content, what do I think is better than long form content? That's moving on to part 2, and that's focusing on short form content. These are things like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, or TikToks. And the pros of focusing first on short form content, especially if you're a new content creator or streamer, is that they're great for testing stuff out and experimenting. Because it might only take you an hour to create a short. That way you can edit it, chop it up, find it, do whatever you gotta do, send that on all your social platforms, and then see if it resonates or not with your audience. That way, instead of spending a day, a month, a couple hours, a week on one piece of long form content that could very well flop, and in most cases will flop, especially if you're brand new to this, because you don't know what to focus on because you're not good at it yet. So it makes more sense to focus on short form content first, so that way you can hone your craft and not only just get better at editing, coming up with titles, hooks, and catching your viewers' attention, but also just see what niches and what topics of videos resonate with your audience that you're trying to target. Also, getting views on your short form content is 10 times easier than on your long form content. I'm sure many of you guys that have already experimented with YouTube Shorts and YouTube videos, you'll see that some of your shorts probably reach 1,000 views and you probably didn't even put that much effort into it. That's not by mistake. It's really just that much easier to get views on your shorts than it is your YouTube long form videos. And another pro is that it's easier to keep your viewers' attention for the whole duration of the short compared to a 5-minute plus long form video, which means it's a lot easier to get a higher viewer duration and higher viewer retention percentage on your shorts than it is your long form videos, which means it's more likely that it's going to get pushed out for more people to see. So all those sound like really great things, right? Well, what are the cons with that? The cons with short form content is that 1, it's still time consuming because you still got to learn how to edit, come up with a hook, do captions, all of that fun stuff. And I know it's not fun. You need to post more frequently because you see these YouTubers that some of them post once a month or once every couple months or once a year even. Unfortunately, you can't really do the same with shorts because they have a lower shelf life, which means you have to be producing more short form pieces of content than you would long form. So it's going to require more output from your end, which makes it still really time consuming. But even though we get those views easier from our short form content, honestly, they're not valued the same because you don't make as much money doing YouTube Shorts per view as you do long form. And it's a lot harder to build a relationship with your audience through short form content because you're not spending as much time with them, which means if you're getting like 1,000 views on your YouTube Shorts and you're wondering why they're not coming over to your Twitch streams yet, it's because because it takes more time and consistency. You're gonna likely have to pop up in their feed multiple times, and they're gonna have to be familiar with you and want to binge your content through these short form pieces of content before they actually want to make the switch over to your Twitch streams. So unless you're getting tens of thousands of views, which is very feasible and very doable in this climate right now, you're likely not going to see drastic results from your shorts, from people transferring over from your shorts to your Twitch streams. Which means if you really want to see results, you're going to have to get good at creating short form content, so that way you get a really high viewer retention rate. You're coming up with bingeable content, so they're going to want to watch multiple pieces of content from you, so that way they can build a relationship with you to want to come over to your Twitch streams. And a lot of this is just simply through consistency, because the more you do this, the better you get at it, and the more content that your audience is going to be able to have to binge, to digest, to become familiar with you, and ultimately come over to your streams. I've been using this exact strategy to collectively get hundreds of thousands of views per my channel, posting on YouTube Shorts on my gaming and main channel, posting over on my TikTok, as you can see, over 250,000 views just on that one, and then cross-posting on my Instagram Reels as well, which I just started from scratch to get thousands of views there as well. Now, one huge problem with that, I'm really lazy and I don't want to spend hours editing my content, finding clips, doing all of that stuff after already spending hours doing my stream. I just simply don't have the energy for it, and I don't want it. So that's where part 3 comes to play, and honestly, the secret sauce that's going to make everything a lot easier. It's the lubricant that we need to reduce the friction of not wanting to do all that stuff, but still capitalize on the gains from it. And that's using this tool called Nexus Clips, which makes it super easy and quick to do. And they were also nice enough to sponsor today's video, so I got us a discount code at the end. But essentially, all you got to do is go to the page, which is linked down in the description below. You're going to sign up for an account. Then you're going to link your Twitch or YouTube account. Then you're going to do your stream. Then after you do your stream, you'll get an email sent to your inbox, and then you'll just simply click on Create Clips Now. Then it's going to automatically show you the most clippable moments from your stream. All you got to do is click on it, and it's going to bring you right to that part in your Twitch VOD. So you can simply go through these and just see which pieces of content are the most clippable. Also, a little cheat for you guys that I personally use is that if they didn't find any clippable moments that were up to your standards, you can simply go to the home page and then click on Edit Clip, and you can import a clip, because I personally like to use the replay buffer in Streamlabs or OBS for moments that I know are going to be clippable and funny. So that way I just take that little clip I got and then I import it into Nexus here. And if you guys want a tutorial on replay buffer, I'll leave it linked at the end of the video, so stick around. But once you find your clip that you want to use, you'll simply click on Create Clip, or you'll just import it like I showed you earlier. Then you'll be able to trim the clip to get it to exactly where you want it to be. So let's just say it's about here. Maybe we can trim the right and the left a little bit. Then you could download that horizontal clip if you wanted the footage right here, but we want to do a little bit more. So we're going to click on Edit Clip in the top right. It's going to create the clip, so just give it a couple seconds. And then once it's done, it pretty much does everything for you. We just need to fine tune some stuff. So I'm going to hide my webcam behind right there. On the right hand side, this is a preview of what it looks like. So the first thing we want to do is change the framing. So this is like where the webcam and the gameplay is going to be. I personally either like upper face cam or miniature face cam. I don't think I can really do upper face cam because the box is a little bit too big for me. So if I go like this, it's not to my liking. So really I want to use miniature face cam in this instance, which I think looks a lot better right there. So the green box is going to be what the face cam is on the top right. And then this yellow orangish box is going to be the actual gameplay. So I just want this in the middle. So if we hit the play button, it's going to preview what the clip looks like on the right hand side with the webcam and then the gameplay. Now I'm going to zoom out with this little magnifying glass here in the bottom right. And then I'm going to drag this all the way to the left to bring us to the beginning of the clip. And then you'll be seeing that there's a lot more information here. So you can see this line right here are captions. And then we have a little hook here as well. The hook is super important. It's literally the first like 3 seconds of your short and is what ultimately gets people to stick around for watching the rest of your clip. So don't underestimate the hook. If we want to edit the hook, we're simply going to click on this and it's going to bring us to the hook on the left-hand side here. So we can add a catchy phrase. A lot of the time, what people will do is add something super generic, like, I can't believe this happened. Personally, I think this is super overused, but it does gather people's curiosity. So if you really can't think of anything else to do, you could use something like this. Because as generic and overused as it is, it does spark curiosity to where there's like, oh, well, what did happen? Or for example, this is like a trick shot in Fortnite or something epic. You can just be like, this trick shot was insane. Usually want to keep it to like the first like 3 seconds or so. So I'm just going to drag it a little bit to the left. And then you can also change your style up here if you want to do a different style like this one maybe. Though personally, I like this one. For whatever reason, the framing got reset. So I'm just going to go back to framing and hit mini. And then it's going to go back to what we had it as. Don't know why that happened. That was weird. But now you can see we got the hook here and we can actually go and drag our little cursor on the timeline down at the bottom to the beginning. And then we'll be able to click on the actual hook to adjust it where we want it. Maybe like right there. Then if I hit play, it's going to be up there for about 3 seconds or so. So now we want to work on the actual caption. So we're going to go down and we're going to click on the subtitles on the left-hand side here. Personally, I like the ones that bubble because they like highlight the different word that's being spoken. So we can simply click on that one. I'm going to drag it back to the front to where we can kind of see a word word, and then I'm going to highlight that by clicking on it. And I'm going to drag it down right about there. Now I'm going to drag it back to the beginning here, and you'll see that we got our webcam, we got our gameplay, our hook, and we got our captions that are basically being highlighted every single word that we say. Now, for whatever reason, one of the words is wrong or it's just not lining up, you can simply drag this left and right to adjust the duration or how long that word is, or you can simply just double click on that word. It'll bring over here and you'll be able to click and you can edit it. So if I said this instead of that, just type in this and it automatically changes it to what you need it to be. So basically you just zoom in, zoom out, make your little fine-tune changes, which would normally take me an hour or so, but this makes it super quick, literally only a couple minutes. And then you can hit play, preview it, make sure it is to your liking. If you want to add a sticker, because I know a lot of people love your sticker, you can add a little Twitch sticker to promote your stream. Put it over here and then hit play. It'll pop up right there. Or you can just make it last the whole time. Then you can do that and just drag it and then drag it all the way at the bottom or somewhere. You could if you wanted to. Now, personally, I don't really recommend that just because it's more clutter on the screen and it looks kind of spammy, but I know a lot of people like the stickers, so I just wanted to throw it out there that you could use it. So I'm just actually going to hide the sticker in the top left right there. And then once I've confirmed that this clip is what I like it as, I'm going to simply go to the top right corner and click on share. And I'm going to be able to download this vertical clip, which I can then upload to Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, or TikTok. But if you're even more lazy, you can simply connect your TikTok and YouTube accounts here, and you'll be able to auto-publish directly from Nexus Clips to those platforms. So you got a lot of options. But the main thing that you need to know is that it's all about consistency these days. The more you do this, the better you're going to get at it, and the more likely that you're going to be seen. Especially right now, it's so easy to get traffic on your short form content that you'd be missing out on a huge opportunity if you don't take advantage of it while it's like this. So like I mentioned earlier, I got us a hookup. So if you guys want to test out Nexus and see if it's right for you, then you guys can use my discount code down below and save that money, y'all. And if you want to take advantage of using the replay buffer with Nexus Clips, or just use the replay buffer and how to clip more efficiently, then watch this video to the side of me. My name's Cody, and I will see you in the next one.